All right, solubility or KSP values are important because they can tell us how soluble it is. So you might know that things like salt and sugar both dissolve in water, but they don't dissolve exactly the same. So you can probably dissolve more salt in water than you can sugar. If you've ever tried to mix sugar into cold iced tea, you'll notice that it doesn't dissolve very well. So what we want to do is be able to compare these KSP values. So there's two scenarios. Scenario one is when you can use the KSP numbers directly if the number of ions is the same. So if we look at all of these would all fall into kind of the same idea that we had up here, is that you would have your metal cation and your anion would be squared. So this would be x times 2x squared for both of these if we were substituting in to solve for the solubility. This one would just be the opposite. So your cation would be 2x squared and your anion would just be x. But all of them give us 4x cubed, and when we solve for that, we get these numbers. But if I look at comparing these, so 6.5 times 10 to the negative 6th is the highest number, so this would be the most soluble. This one is next, again, close, but just not quite as high as an m value here, and then this one would be last. So if I compare, so I'm ranking these, I'm ranking 1, 2, 3, and when I'm ranking these, they're 1, 2, 3. But I don't have to actually calculate those because they have the same number of ions, so I can just go directly to this. Okay, so there's my little statement there. When I go to 2, so this is my second scenario, is that the number of ions is different. So this one would just be x times x for my equation, or x squared. This one would be 2x squared times x, and so would this one be 2x squared times x. So I could compare these two, and I would see that silver sulfide is more soluble than silver sulfate, just comparing them from that perspective. But when I start factoring in these ions, you'll see that it doesn't work out that way. So these solubilities are going to be ranked based on this. So this one would be first, then this is the next largest number, and this would be the largest, which is kind of not the same that you would see over here in terms of solubility. So if I ranked them this way, I would be looking at 1, 2, 3. But I can't do that because the number of ions is different. So I can't use this, and I must use this. So again, silver sulfate is the most soluble out of all of those. Silver sulfide is next, and then copper 2 sulfate is last. And again, you wouldn't predict that from the other one. So page 2 goes right into looking at this again. So when I'm looking at this formula, I'm looking at, I have 3 ions on all of these. Okay, so 1 cation, 2 anions, 1 cation, 2 anions, and then 2 cations and 1 anion. So, oops. So all of these are 3 anions. So I can just rank these directly. So my lowest number is number 1 is lead 2 fluoride, and number 2 would be iron 2 hydroxide, and lastly would be the silver sulfide. So again, don't need to worry about any calculation because all of the ions are the same. So when I go to example number 2, I have 1 cation and 3 ions, so this is 4 ions. Cobalt and carbonate would be 2 ions, and zinc and iodate would be 3 ions. So I have to go through my process. So if you can just look at it without writing the equation, that's fine. But I'm going to use this to get my equation. So this is going to be x times 3x cubed, or 4x cubed. So this is going to give me 2 times 10 to the negative 9th, x equals. Okay, over here, I'm going to squeeze this over here. I'm going to have x times x because I just have cobalt plus 2 and carbonate minus 2. So my x squared equals that, so x is 1 times 10 to the minus 5th, and then this one I would have zinc and 2 iodates, so I'd have x and 2x squared, and when I solve for x I get 9.9 times 10 to the negative 3rd. So when I start ranking these, this is actually the highest, so this would be first, this one would be second, and this one would be third. But again, I have to compare solubilities. Remember, these are all molarities. Okay. All right, next up is an application of Le Chatelier's principle. So this is called the common ion effect. So the solubility of a solid is lowered if the solution already contains one of the ions that are in the formula of the solid. So it's really shifting that equilibrium around. So when we had our first example, when we did the ice chart, these were all 0. So having none of this would shift the equilibrium to the right, but this time I'm going to have some initials. So again, my solids still don't count, but this time I have 0.025 molar sodium fluoride, which was going to give me 0.025 molar fluoride in that particular setup. Okay, so I have initially no calcium, but I do have this 0.025 molar fluoride ion. So I'm going to put, this is X, and then, so plus X, and then this is going to be 0.025 plus 2X. So my equilibrium is going to be X and 0.025. Sorry, I'm going to get ahead of myself here. So when I set up my KSP, I'm going to have my calcium and then my fluoride squared, and then I'm just substituting in all of my numbers. 4 times 10 to the negative 11th equals X, and then 0.025 plus 2x squared. So I really don't want to have to do this quadratic thing again, and if you look at the value of my KSP, this number is really small, so I would have to have a really big number for that to include this. So this is going to be negligible. So I'm really going to end up with 4 times 10 to the negative 11th equals 2x. And 0.025 squared. Okay, and then when I simplify all of that, X is going to be 6.4 times 10 to the negative 8 moles per liter. So you can see adding 10 to the negative 8 to something that's 10 to the negative 6 is really not going to change my solubility that much, or my concentration of this ion that much. So X would be your solubility of the CaF2. Now I do want to give you a word of caution. If you have something, if you had this 0.025 molar MgF2 instead of calcium or sodium fluoride, because you get your Mg ions plus 2 F minus ions. So you would actually have 2 times the 0.025. So if we used magnesium fluoride, our problem would change to our KSP. It'd be 0.050 plus 2x squared. Now, the 2x is still negligible, but I'm going to have to square that, and that reduces my solubility to 1.6 times 10 to the negative 8th moles per liter because I'm putting more fluoride. So you have to pay attention to what the formula of that compound is that is dissolving. So if it provides more than 1 mole of ions, you have to account for that. Okay. All right, so that is side 1. of page 2.